this border crisis, you guys have to peep what I just came across. This border crisis is now turned into a criminal crisis. Check out what these people are doing once they've entered America. And why, how come the news ain't covering this? Peep this though, y'all. This is wild.
Take a look, everyone, at this story that is happening right now. This is a big deal, possible game changer in the way people are thinking about the southern border. According to the Oakland County, Michigan Sheriff, there are gangs of people targeting homes and burglaries. The gangs, they're from South America. The sheriff calling for stricter border enforcement because he says gangs from South America are coming to Michigan, breaking into homes, a lot of homes, stealing a lot of cash and jewelry and items. So where are these people coming from? According to Sheriff Michael Bouchard, they are coming from Chile, Colombia, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Honduras, and Venezuela. He's calling them transnational gangs, and they are here in Michigan. And get this, he says they are across the country. Why aren't you hearing about this on the nightly news or CNN or MSNBC?
Exactly.
This is a story that needs to be out there.
Facts.
All of you can make this happen by sharing this out. And also, follow me here on TikTok. I quit my job in the mainstream media in order to give you the real information, and that's what I'm doing, my friends. Hit the plus symbol over there to follow me. Comment below. Let's be safe, everyone.
Okay, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation, I came out that I push this word in truth and in sincerity. I ran across a video on TikTok, like I ran across this one. 11,000 gangs has entered. And this guy mentioned all these nations, and they all Israelites coming over here. You see, not all of them are bad, but some of them are gang members, MS-13, cartels. Also, I had a video that I put up, but immediately they took it down, and you wonder why. I wonder why. UN is sending, the UN, which is the United Nations, is sending over soldiers in the disguise of immigrants and giving them cell phones and $2,200 a month. Just be on standby. Standby for what? Because we all know that the American military is not going to take out its own family members like the citizens of America. So what's going to happen is they're going to use foreign mercenaries, foreign troops that don't understand English. They're just going to carry out orders. Whether they Chinese troops, there's reports of Chinese troops coming over, Chinese migrants coming over, African migrants coming over, as well as the multiple Israelites from different tribes coming over here. And not all of them are law-abiding citizens. I guarantee you, majority of these people are gang members, drug addicts, hardened criminals, rapists, you name it. Also, age, how can I put it? Age-ready soldiers from the age of 20, 25, 18, they're over here. Like I said, I had this video, I put it up yesterday. I went to go check it, immediately they took it down. I don't even think it went up. I didn't even see, I couldn't find the video. And it was a cab driver, an Uber driver, saying he picked up one of these migrants, and he said he claims that he showed him the ID, the UN ID, and say that he is a paid mercenary for the UN, and they're giving him $2,200 a month shelter, and they give him a cell phone paid in full, and all he have to do is just sit back and wait. Wait for what? Wait for the go-ahead to do what he's going to do, to carry out what they're going to carry out. And there's multiple of them here. Not just him. It's hundreds of them there, thousands of them that's coming over the borders. And it's done by design, because they want to bring in the chaos so they can bring the order. Order out of chaos. We are not stupid. 2 Corinthians 2:11, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Satan being these devils, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan are these Edomites who call themselves so-called white people, but you're really Esau, red. I have a few scriptures, man. You know, it's going to get bad. There's also reports that Hamas, that Joe Biden gave Hamas $6 billion. Gave Iran $6 billion, who controls Hamas, and now all of a sudden, the Hamas is attacking Israel. It's not a coincidence. All these things are happening, and all these miseries are coming, man. All these miseries are coming. We've been telling you. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that's what's happening, man. Esau is proud as hell. Esau being a so-called white man is proud as hell. You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's a part of the 2/3. Hell, even men that's in Israel, that know that the Israelites, they're proud as hell too. Not to mention, we ain't gonna mention no names, but we gonna know what we're talking about. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, we in the latter time, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And this has all been written down for a reason. And we out there warning y'all, in season, out of season, weekly, by going out there on the highways and the byways, and putting up shows throughout the week. We warning y'all. From the apostles on down, we warning y'all. Whether you were here, or whether you were forbear, Ezekiel 3:17, that's on you. Because your blood is going to be on your own hands. Your head, if you don't take heed to what the prophets are saying. Because this time's going to get real tough out there, man. And now you got these different migrants that's coming over here, and they don't give two fucks. Excuse my language. They don't care too. They don't give a damn about none of you so-called Americans, because America and the government that runs America, these Edomites that run America, commit a lot of atrocities to these different governments around the world, and they hate America as in a whole and their citizens. But who they really should take their anger out on is the government that runs America. But no, they're going to take their anger out on America and its citizens and the infrastructure. Why? Because they totally hate America. You got a lot of nations around the world calling America the Great Satan. You see? 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse because once these miseries come, man, you're going to have all hell breaking loose. Great miseries such as no jobs, violence throughout the city. And you saw in this video how a lot of migrants are breaking in homes, stealing cash and jewelry. And it's not being reported on mainstream media. Why? Because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to be up in arms. They want you to be asleep. They don't want you to be awakened to what's really going on. And how they orchestrated the whole thing, man. They left the borders open for a reason. Because, like I said it earlier, a lot of them are gang members and soldiers, mercenaries, hired mercenaries to carry out the bidding of the UN. A lot of them are from Interpol, International Police Force. So things are going to get real tough out here, man. You know, and it says, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiable case, which now have abused my ways. And that's the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're going to be in a pitiful case in that time, because these UN troops and these different mercenaries from Interpol, they ain't going to understand English. And when they tell you to do something, you don't comply, they're going to lay you down. They're going to lay you down. And it reads, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Oh, you're going to be in torments, those that scoff and scorn. Because it is said there's going to be a military draft. You're going to be in a pitiful case. A lot of you scorners and you scoffers, you're going to get put to death, get tossed headfirst to a concentration camp, die from famine, getting mauled to death by wild beasts, vicious pit bulls and jackals that be released from these zoos, whether it be the Bronx Zoo, the Brooklyn Zoo. Things is going to get real hectic out here, man. And you're going to be in a pitiful case that have abused the Lord's ways and cast the laws of the Lord or the Most High Yahweh while Yahweh shall bind your back. And they that have lost my Lord while they had yet liberty and while there was yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same was nowhere after death by pain. Because that's what's coming. Death and pain. Famine. Violence. That's what's coming, man. Death, pain, and violence, man. You're going to understand that the Lord is not all love. The Lord's going to use Esau, the so-called white man, which is the left-hand side, and unleash terror and pain and anguish upon the 2/3 of you people, man. It's going to get real ugly out here. Real soon. Real soon. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. It's not only in America. Look what's going on in Israel with the Palestinians. They launched a full-scale war on the Israeli government. Look what's going on in Ukraine with the Russian government and the Ukrainian government. This war been raging on for almost 2 years now. And there's other scrimmages around the world. But the main two battles, the main two scrimmages of war is with the Ukrainian and the Russians, and now Hamas, which is a proxy army of Iran, which is going to give leeway to Benjamin Netanyahu trying to shoot missiles off on Iran. Because Hamas is controlled by Iran. And that's the bottom line. Everybody knows that. Hamas and Hezbollah is controlled by Iran. Those are proxy armies of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. So they're going to give Benjamin Netanyahu a reason to want to invade or shoot missiles off on Iran. And that's going to be another war. That's another war that's brewing. Right now, that's in the rumor stage. Because we're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. That's why I tell you in 2nd Ezra 9:1 to measure the times diligently. We at the end of this devil's empire, man. It's circling the drain. That's why you got all these wars. There's no peace upon earth, man. There's multiple food shortages. There's nothing but death and pain and anguish running rampant in the earth, throughout the earth right now, throughout the four corners of the earth. And as soon as it's going to come to America on a large scale. That's why you ought to measure the times diligently in itself. And when you see these things come to pass, then you know that this devil's empire is circling the drain, and he's going to fight tooth and nail to keep his empire. That's why I tell you in Revelation 12:12 that the devil, which is Esau, the so-called white man, is going to come down having great wrath, because he knows that he have nothing, but his time is short. He have a short time to rule, and he see his rulership is slipping out of his hands. He sees his rulership slipping out of his hands, man. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's that clash of civilizations, that race war. Now you got these migrants coming over. They want a piece of the pie as well. These migrants coming over and they want a piece of the pie. And I guarantee you they're going to take their piece of the pie. Here it is. You got a big, great homeless population in America, and they're giving migrants $2,200 a month. $2,200 a month, plus free room and boarding, free phones. But you got a homeless population in America. That's going to make the so-called Americans pissed off. It's only going to get worse out here. It's going to get real bad, real soon. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is an uprising against a monarch or a government. And we see that happening. throughout the four corners of the earth. People protesting. Violence is breaking out. They're going up against their government. And these are the things that let you know that a kingdom is circling the drain, or an empire is circling the drain. When the citizens rise up against their government, it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, the so-called president, nor princes, the governors, the mayors, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. Why? Because these military Humvees, these MRAPs, now they got these police robots. They're going to be there too. They're going to be blocking off the tunnels, the bridges. And you're not going to be able to get in or out. You're going to be trapped in whatever borough you in or wherever you at when they declare martial law. If you're in your job, you're going to be trapped there. If you're in your house, you're going to be trapped inside your house. Wherever you at, that's where you're going to stay. And if you try to move without any proper papers, they're going to mold you down. They're going to gun you down like a mangy dog. And that's what it's set up to do. It says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled with martial law, violence running rampant. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. You just read that these migrants are running up at people's houses, taking jewelry, taking gold, taking money, and whatever else viable things they could take. It's going to get worse. It's going to be on a larger scale than this. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming. Great tribulation. Great tribulation on a large scale. A lot of you people, you ain't ready for it. A lot of you women, the boss babes, we're going to see how boss you are then, in that time. If the men going to be afraid, imagine you women. Imagine you women. And when they give the signal to these migrants, these mercenaries posing as migrants, Salakia, these mercenaries that's posing as migrants and UN troops that's posing as migrants, then all hell's really going to break loose. All hell's really going to break loose. Because most of these migrants coming over here, they don't understand English. Whether they from these different Latin tribes, whether they from so-called Africa, or any other place that they coming from, China, Korea, wherever they coming from, they ain't gonna understand English. They're only gonna be here to carry out their orders, which is to kill and destroy and to lock shit down. And if you try to buck up and don't comply, mainly you women with your mouths, you're gonna start running your pothole and get slapped upside the head with the butt of a gun, or get shot in the head. Then the rest of you gonna fall in line. But you're gonna know things are serious. And when they come, they're gonna come the same way they came. The Romans came during the time of 65 up to 70 AD, when they invaded Jerusalem and besieged Jerusalem. It's gonna be 2 times or 5 times worse than what it was in 70 AD. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse. We're gonna start at 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. And that back then, this was talking about the Roman Empire. From the ends of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Back then, it was talking about the ancient Romans. The clue, that is the eagle. That was their symbol. They spoke Latin. The Israelites, we spoke Hebrew. We don't understand them. They don't understand us. So therefore, there was a lack of communication. That's why it was a great slaughter. It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young, because they're going to carry out the orders of the so-called white man. They're going to carry out the orders of the UN. The same way the ancient Romans carry out the instructions that was given to them during the time of the Flavian dynasty. Okay, that's when this took place. So it's going to be 5 times worse, 10 times worse than 70 AD. The siege of Jerusalem by Rome. It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle. Right now, we ain't got no cattle. We don't own cattle or livestock, but guess what? They're going to come into your crib and take your rations from you. Whatever food you got, they're going to take it. Because I think it's in the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, where they could confiscate your food, your water. I forgot the exact location in the NDAA in the exact bill, but I remember reading that. It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Now, that's taking away the jobs now in these days. Taking away the jobs, cashing you out of your house, taking your food, throwing your ass in the concentration camp, kicking your door down 4 o'clock in the morning. Esau loved to do that. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. Yeah, the city's going to be locked down. You're not going to be able to go nowhere. Back then, it was talking about the seeds of Masada, where they built walls and surround Jerusalem, and you can either come in or come out or go out. Now it's talking about how they're going to lock these cities down. And it's going to be far worse. Far worse. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down. Like I said, I was talking about during the time of Jerusalem, during the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, but now it's talking about the cities of America. It says, wherein thou trustest, dwell all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. Now let's talk about the ghettos, the streets of America, and wherever you in New York, California, wherever you in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Nebraska. It says, which the Lord thou have given thee. It says, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy womb. It's like, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy body, which is cannibalism. The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which is also part of the curses, because that happened during the time of the siege of Jerusalem, during the time of 70 AD. Now, when that famine comes sore in the land of America, what do you think is going to take place? First, they're going to stop eating the leaves off the trees. Then they're going to stop boiling leather, shoes. The same thing that happened in Venezuela, eating farm animals, eating zoo animals. If you got a dog or a cat, you may resort to eating your dog, your cat, all before you get to your little babies. Those are going to be the last. When there's nothing else to eat, no more leaves on the trees. And you better hope it's not in the wintertime, where there's no leaves at all on the trees. Things going to get bad. Cannibalism is a part of the curses, and cannibalism is going to come back in a great way. And all you people that ain't right with the Lord, you're going to be fucked up. Like it says in 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 9, then shall they be in a pitiful case. You're going to be in a pitiful case. Because all hell is going to be breaking loose, and you're going to be starving. And you're going to resort to cannibalism. You're going to eat your children, your grandbabies. It's going to get worse. It's going to get hectic out here. It says, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherein thy enemies shall besiege thee. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. And we see that now, so-called black on black crime, Israelites killing Israelites, and toward the wife of his bosom. You see that. Men leaving their wives, leaving the children behind, being violent towards their wives. We see that now. It says, and toward the remnant of thy children, which he shall leave, so that he shall not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set her soles of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband and toward the bosom, and the husband of her bosom, and toward her sons and towards her daughters, and toward her young ones that cometh out from between her feet, and toward the children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness wherein thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen when all hell break loose, when the Lord allowed Esau to truly show his horns. When Esau is truly allowed to show his horns, that's what's going to happen, man. And we see how these women, their eyes evil toward their husband. You see how the black women bash the so-called black man. I read an article of women over a SD card from a cell phone shot her son multiple times in the head, a 12-year-old son multiple times in the head because she lost her SD card. I read that in the Sun. An article in the Sun. It's crazy. I think it was either the Daily Mail or the Sun. But nevertheless, her eye was evil toward her son over a SIM card. That she could have easily got another $12 SIM card, another $40 SIM card, and replaced it. But yet she chose to shoot him and kill him, a 12-year-old kid. Even though he wasn't innocent, that was the judgment of the Lord. But it shows you that these scriptures are dead on, man. These scriptures are dead on. And all these women, Isaiah 32 and 9, rise up, you women that are at ease. All these women, these boss babes, you're going to feel it the worst. So keep on being a boss babe. Keep that same energy. I want to see it. I want to see how much a boss babe you really are. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse, let me see. Start at 16 verse, Salakia. 68, I started. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. What's that burning wrath from a great multitude? These mercenaries, these UN troops, the National Guards, these paramilitary forces, you know what I'm saying? These militias. It says, let me get it back. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. We already know what that is. That's a karagma. How you going to be an idol? You're going to be in them concentration camps. They're going to snatch you out of your house, toss you in a van or a bus head first. And you know how these devils get down. If you got a beautiful wife and some beautiful daughters, you already know what they're going to do. That's how much the devil this dude is. And the Lord is going to allow it to happen. It says, and they shall cast, and they that consent unto them should be had in derision. Yeah, if you take that Karak, you're going to be had in derision. You're going to be in derision. You're going to be fucked up. It says, and in reproach and trodden underfoot, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hey, so time's gonna get real hectic out here. Days gonna get real bad out here real soon. You see what they doing with these borders. You hear wars, rumors of wars, and these things is starting to heat up. Day after day, more atrocities are being committed. Day after day, more migrants are coming over here. People are protesting. Day after day, people are losing their homes, their apartments, losing their jobs. Soon they're going to start losing their minds. So get ready. Get ready. You have been warned. Things is going to heat up to the point of no return. So with that, Abba Ratazayu Akim out there was edified, giving all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations you Akim out there that teach this word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.